Just like Cinderella needed her fairy godmother to help her find her charming prince, you need your staging godmother to help you sell your house for top dollar.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive.
You don't need a magical potion for a staging transformation. We're going to take you through a before all the way to after in a recent listing and show you exactly how we do it. And we're going to do it for you in this video coming up next. Poof. So we're starting here in the living room, and one of the first focal points of the home is this fireplace area. So we want to make sure we really highlight the extra features and the beautifulness of each individual property. And this property, a focal point in the main room, is the fireplace, which is true of many, many houses. So one of the things we wanted to do is really highlight that. So we remove the decor sitting on the mantle. First of all, it's copper colored, kind of tannish and goldish, and the color scheme with the floors and the paint is gray. So we definitely would want to go with a little bit more on the silver side instead of the gold side. So those things were going right away, even if they might be nice, attractive pieces. We want to go with the right color scheme. And we remove the flowers above the fireplace. There's some extra chairs and extra things like the games. Those have to go unless there was a specific game area. Extra chairs, those go. The plants in the window. We want to create a little window seat area. So to do that, we need to utilize those window seats. They actually open up for storage. So if we fill it with items that can't be lifted up, you don't get the idea that there's storage under there and that could be a great little window seat. So we're going to move the plants. We're going to use those plants because green always looks fantastic in staging homes. So we'll use those plants elsewhere, but we're going to move them off the window seat area. We're going to move the furniture back away from the fireplace. So we want that fireplace to be a nice focal point. We're going to put a mirror above to create a lofty feeling of height. Put some arrangements there that will look really nice. That will also give it some height. We put a white mirror too, so we took out that gold and those gold colors. Now you can see we did not change the paint colors at all. So we went with the granite, we went with the same color paint, everything's the same. We just opened it up a lot more. So you can see the silver details that we put at the base. We put some candles inside the fireplace because it is a wood burning fireplace, so we want to give the feeling of fire, so we did those flickering candles. One of the sides of the window seat area, we created a reading nook. So we created some cushions in there, put some books and a pair of glasses and some nice pillows to give it the idea that you could sit there. And then the other side, we lifted up, we removed the plants and we lifted it up to show that there's storage under there and you can do a lot of different things with that. So we're showing the versatility and the space of the living room. And as you can see, moving that furniture out a bit actually gives it a lot more space and largeness of the room. So moving your furniture out a little ways. Now we don't want to push it up against the wall because that doesn't make it feel like a good layout. Anytime you go into a room and you see where the furniture is all against the walls and then there's a big open space in the middle, that doesn't really work. So we put a nice gray rug down in the center. We moved the chairs out a little ways, and now the fireplace has really become a focal point. One of the other things that we did in the living room was removing not only the extra decor items, but we also eliminated some of the furniture. So you can see the white buffet table. We removed those, so it really opens up the living room. And then we also removed some of the bar items, some of the things above the bar. So we just put a simple piece of artwork above the bar and really opened it up to make it feel like you could walk up to the window seat, you can walk into the living room, you could have a little conversation there, and it's really open to more of the rooms. So that buffet actually blocked you and made the living room feel totally separate from the kitchen. And this is kind of an open concept situation, so we wanted to make it feel like it's all big spaces. So if you had somebody sitting in your living room, you could be talking to them while you're making a meal. Somebody could be sitting in the dining room. They could all be involved in a conversation. Now here we have the dining room, and it's a fantastic dining room set. It's a clear glass table with white leather chairs. And so we've got a lot to work with here in this space. One of the things that we did immediately was remove the rug. Now the rug is a very attractive rug. but it is not the color scheme that we're really going for. And on the note of rugs, rugs are really important. So rugs, you want to pull the room together, but you don't want them to hide the floor. So in this case, it kind of sets the room apart. But we also wanted it to feel like it was a part of the main room, with the floors continuing from the living room all the way through. So we removed the rug and we kept the white leather chairs and the glass table. There's a piece of furniture, a little bookcase type situation in the back corner. We removed that to give it more space. And then we also took down the mirrors. So the mirrors, normally you'll see that in our designs. We always add mirrors to the living room or dining rooms and that sort of thing. But in this particular case, it's not reflecting what we wanted to reflect. So we wouldn't want to put a mirror on the left-hand side of the wall. We're going to substitute that and put a piece of art right there. And then because of the little glass blocks and they're off center, we really wanted to balance that wall, because you see this wall when you walk in directly from the front door. And since that window, which provides a lot of light, and a glass block is a really cool feature, but it is off center, so your eye automatically thinks, well, why is that off center, especially if you put a square piece of art next to it. So what we did is we put a mirror that was kind of an unusual shape, but elongated it, made it go more horizontal than up and down. And I think it was the right balancing thing. So hopefully you'll see the dining room now, and you'll see it as a little bit larger space and very open. And we also moved one of the green plants into the corner, which give it a little pop of color and a little depth because it's behind the table. And we also removed the dishware set that was set, the table was set, and we put a nice piece of art. And we put a colorful aqua piece of glass art on there, so it ties in the piece of art that's on the left wall, and it's really a pleasing color combination, and it really goes with the cool colors of the floor and the walls. Now here we are in the kitchen, and there's the bar area, and this is really a breakfast bar area. There's 2 stools, so at most, if you wanted to put dishware on top of the bar, you'd want to put 2 place settings because you only have 2 chairs. But in this situation, when you're listing to sell, you really don't want to put any dishware like this and covering the bar. The bar is granite, that's a feature, a granite breakfast bar, and we really want to highlight that, so we want to keep it as clear as possible. And we also like the line of sight coming from the kitchen into the rest of the room and vice versa, and I think that really lends itself to making it feel just a little bit bigger. And also in the kitchen, we removed everything from the countertops, even decor items at this point, and certainly coffee pots and cookers and different things that you use in your kitchen, and everything on top of the cabinet. So if there's any storage, like larger dishware or servingware or things like that that you didn't have room for in the cabinets and you put it up on top of the counter, that has to go as well. So we cleared the top of the counter, cleared on top of the refrigerator, and cleaned that off because that sometimes gets sticky. And then we had everything else just kind of cleared off and removed the art pieces, the little coffee pots and coffee cups that are on that wall. And we're putting a nice piece of art there that ties in all the colors and all the rest of the room. And then that piece of art had some birds, so we put a couple little ceramic birds, just 2 little ceramic birds in the corner, just to highlight the whiteness of the refrigerator and the stove, and I think it kind of ties everything all together. And here we have the second bathroom, and as is, it's pretty plain Jane. You got some white towels, and everything else is pretty cleared up, which is absolutely fine, because that gives us a blank slate to start from. So what we first did is we brought in a little pop of color and a nice shower curtain that's going to pull it all together. Just a tiny little smidge of aqua, and that gives it that aqua crab, and the little aqua artwork brings in just a little bit of color, and then we also brought that color through to the towels. So it gives it a nice pop of color, gives it brings the bathroom to life without being overpowering, and still goes with the color scheme that's happening in the rest of the home. Now in this particular home, the laundry room is kind of a clutch item. Many of the laundries in a lot of condos are maybe on the patio or on the entry area, but this has a separate laundry area, and we definitely don't want it to be an afterthought behind some of the exercise equipment. So of course the exercise equipment gets tucked away, doesn't get to stay in the living room or even in the hallway. And then we also want to open up the laundry room to make it look like a nice, functional, organized space. And so we got rid of the storage items, the old boxes and things like that, and any of the stuff that's stored on the shelf, and kept it with just the laundry items that actually go with the washer and dryer, and gave it some nice lighting. And now you have a nice open functional space. So the master bedroom, or the primary bedroom, is one of the most important rooms because this is where the person that's buying the condo is probably going to be living. So one of the things that we wanted to do is, first of all, the lighting. There is no overhead light in this bedroom, and it is quite dark. There's just one reading light that we have propped up in the corner, as you can see, giving us some light in the room. So it's a very dark room, which might be perfectly appropriate for a bedroom and for watching TV and for sleeping. But when it comes time to stage your home to sell, lighting is incredibly important because you want to see all the features. So we want people to be able to come in here and see all the features. So lighting is one thing that we're going to have to solve right away. And the other thing is there's too much furniture. So it makes the room look too small. So what we're going to do is take some of those air purifiers, some of the extra pieces of furniture, we're going to move those out. And we're also going to move the dresser away from the window. So on the left side, you can see that there's a window, and that is being covered up by furniture. So you definitely do not want to put furniture in front of a window, especially if it's higher. You can put some things that may be underneath a window, but never want to cover up a window. And because it has the security gate over it, which is a metal feature, and it looks a little tough and hard, we added a little lacy curtain to the top just to give it a little bit more of a bedroom feel, a little bit more softer touch. And I'm going to include a couple of those pictures here so you get that feeling. So we put a nice piece of artwork above the bed. There's no real headboard here, so we picked a nice large piece of art and a new bedspread. And we picked like a silvery color because that goes really well with the floors and with the other black furniture that they have in there. So it makes it feel very primary, master bedroomy. And two of the lights that were in the other room that we couldn't really find a great spot for, they were near the bar before, we moved them here and flanked both of the sides of the bed. So, and we also plugged it into the plug that turns on when the light switch comes on. So when you walk into this bedroom to see, you flick on the light, and it's completely and totally illuminated, which is exactly the look we were going for. And you can also see the lightness here in the lacy curtain and the openness of the window, so you're getting a lot more light from the window, and it just makes it a much more pleasing space, especially for a nice primary bedroom. And here we are in the primary bathroom, which is an ensuite bathroom, which means it's connected to the bedroom. And we really want to feature some of the highlights of this particular room. And to do that, of course, lighting is really important. And as you can see in the left, that there's only one bulb in the 3-bulb fixture. That's something we always fix. We work on that right away because we want everything to be well lit for everyone to look at, and it just feels cleaner and more open and bigger when everything's well lit. And then you can see that there's some white towels here. Well, that does nothing for any pop of color or any life to this room. So one of the things that we started with right away was the pop of color. We went with a shower curtain that has blue and browns. So it's not an obnoxious, wild shower curtain. It's subtle, but it brings in a little bit of color into the room. And then we went with the blue towels to give it that little panache. We kept with the white little fish there and some of the neutral sea creature type situations to pull all those colors together, and I think it really makes for a nice, pleasing bathroom. In the shower area and in the tub, you can see there's some towels popped up there. We put the shower curtain there, giving it some color, and that white flower doesn't really stand out against the white bathroom. We moved that one into the bedroom, so we gave it some candles. It's a kind of a deep set with a shelf, so we felt like we could add some candles and kind of make it feel like this resorty kind of really luxurious feeling in the master tub. I don't have a great before picture of the patio, the balcony area, but just take my word for it, it was full of boxes and outdoor storage type situations. So what we did is we moved it to the right side of the frame. You can't actually see it in this photo. And then we put a little set where you might want to sit and have a cup of coffee. And we had a red set, which gives it a nice pop of color with the background being tan and then the green trees beyond that. And then to draw your eye out there, we put some nice artificial sunflowers, because that red and yellow really pops even if you're looking at it through a sliding glass door, and you are in this case. So this picture is going to show even from the inside, which is another staging tip that you want to make sure you do not forget some of these outside spaces. And now you can see the entire finished product of the home from room to room, as I'm showing you the slideshow now. And you can see how it feels lighter, airier, larger, and that's kind of the look we were going with. And we went with the features of the home that are the most important, and in this case it's the gray laminate floors and the gray walls. So we really wanted that color scheme to speak for itself, especially since it's a condo and it has these vaulted ceilings. So we wanted that light, airy, large look, and we really wanted to feel like there's plenty of room to do all of the things that you want to do in there, and has a little outdoor space, and it gives you a pop of color there where it'd be such a pleasing, inviting space that would make you want to sit out there and have a cup of coffee. Looking for your own staging transformation, but you need a little help from your staging godmother? Then get in touch with me. My information is below. I'd be happy to sit down with you and have a free consultation on how we can talk about your staging needs and your selling needs and figure out how we can get you sold and help you live beyond the strip. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you'll see all kinds of information from different neighborhood examples. We go through before and afters of staging. We talk about the different parks and how you can truly live beyond the strip. Have a great day.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. I know, man, passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way.